So tonight we have 3 games on the schedule. I got the Leafs in the... No, I'm going to leave it. I meant to put the home teams on this side. The Leafs are on this side. Matthews is out. So the big news, if you're a Toronto fan, is that Austin Matthews is out with an upper body injury. Now, on Hockey Central this morning, Kyprios speculated that it might be his back. And they joked that maybe it was his shoulders or his back from carrying the weight of the expectations of this franchise on his back, of millions of fans all piled on him. And as entertaining as that might be, the Leafs are really looking to turn things around. And now the problem's going to be their defense and their goaltending have been shaky. And now the question's going to be, with Matthews out, where are the goals going to come from? Nylander's been called out by his coach recently. Marner's only got 1 goal so far. Marlowe's going to be playing center tonight. Kadri is going to be playing center tonight. So the question that I would have is, between Kadri and Marlowe, which one's going to get the more ice time? Which one's really a first-line center? And if this becomes an issue, and it's funny because the way that injuries are reported in the NHL now, they don't tell us how long guys are going to be out, unless it's like he's going to be out for months. So if this is, say, a 2-week injury, or if this is a nagging injury that's going to pull him out of the lineup more later in the season, Toronto could be in serious trouble. This could honestly be a major issue for Toronto as soon as starting tonight. And they're at home against a team from Minnesota that should really be angry after their game against the Bruins. The Bruins were injury depleted, and the Bruins controlled the game for the most part. The score, I thought, flattered Minnesota at the end of the game. And tonight we've got Dubnyk against Anderson. Stalock, his wife has him on baby watch, much like Nelson in Vancouver's been on baby watch. So it's been a very creative past 9 months for certain NHLers, I guess. So Svedberg is the emergency backup. Svedberg's a half-decent emergency backup. I was mildly surprised he didn't stick around as the backup. But, hey, that's just based on a season he had for these guys. And Minnesota would be the underdog in this game, but I wouldn't be surprised if the underdog came out on top. I just don't know that without Matthews, the Leafs are going to be the same team. I think that's a major issue for them. Boston's in New York. So Boston's got a 6-4-3 record, or, if you're glass half empty guy, they've got 6 wins and 7 losses. The Rangers are 7-9 if you're glass half empty, or 7-2. So it depends on how you view it. I think the Rangers, with the momentum they've had, the Bruins with the fact that they've been dealing with injury problems, Lundqvist sports a decent record against Boston from, at the very least, last season, where the Rangers were 3-0-0 against Boston. I think this is a game where Boston could very well fall to the Rangers, because the Rangers are on the upswing. They've got all the momentum, and I really think the Rangers are getting onto something here. Tampa's in San Jose. Tampa 11-2-2. And San Jose slowly moving their way up the standings and getting into the conversation in terms of playoffs and in terms of how good they can really be. Now, we're all pretty sure that Vegas is going to get clawed back in the standings, that Vegas will end up outside the playoffs, and San Jose likely gets in. But they've still got Calgary to worry about. They've got Vancouver to worry about. LA's still up there. And once Anaheim gets healthy, they will be a growing concern. So the more wins San Jose can pile on now, the more points they can put between themselves and teams below them, the closer they can stay to teams above them, the better off they are. And Tampa's a good test for that. I have question marks next to Martin Jones and Vasilevsky, because they haven't been confirmed as starters for tonight, but it's highly likely that they'll play tonight. And I have the helmet magnets on the board because there's only 3 games tonight, so I figured why not just, throw some magnets on there. So last night I watched the third period and the overtime between Anaheim and LA. If there's a team that's playing more exciting hockey than LA, I haven't seen them. And spotting Anaheim a 3-0 lead and coming back to win 4-3 in overtime is 2 things. One, it shows that LA is for real. But 2, it also shows that Anaheim's dealing with some major injuries down the middle. Now, they mentioned during the game that Chris Wagner played very well at a center position he's not used to playing. And he had a better than 50% face-off rating. Now, it's well known that I am not a Ducks fan, but I'm a huge Ryan Miller fan. So when Gibson went down with injury and Miller went in, I was kind of excited for him in hopes that he'd get the win. Now, Miller takes the loss. The goal wasn't his fault. The goal was a beauty by Nick Shore. And you know, it was a game that really could have gone either way in that overtime. I love 3-on-3 overtime. I have to say, while I've talked down the shootout, talked about how much I don't like the shootout in the NHL, I love 3-on-3 overtime. I think it is a fantastic, fast-paced, great way to end a game. And so, you know, and having witnessed it firsthand at both the Vancouver-Ottawa game and then the Vancouver-Dallas game, it's so much fun. Even though Vancouver lost in both cases, one they lost in overtime and the other one they lost in a shootout, it is so much fun to watch that 3-on-3 and see the skill of these players come through. So, you know, Anaheim loses, LA wins, one of the most exciting games of the year. And, you know, so I promised last night that I would talk about it this morning, and I did indeed turn the game on after I was done the video here and watch the third in overtime. The Kings are really a scary team right now. The Kings, the Blues, and the Lightning are ahead of everybody else in the league. Everybody else is trying to catch up to where they are. So the only one that's playing tonight is Tampa. Tomorrow night we have more games than that. We only have 3 tonight. And then tomorrow we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 7. The one other funny thing too, and this occurred to me last night when we had, I think it was 6 games last night, and then we've had 9 games another night, is with covering 31 teams, it can be hard to cover absolutely everything that's going on with every team. And I do my best to cover it as well as I can, and I watch between 3 and 6 hours of hockey every night, and it's a lot to keep track of because there are over 600 players in the league. But I do my best, and I do my best when I'm doing previews or reviews to talk about the games that I watched, admit the games I didn't watch, and it's made it harder for me to even keep track of injuries and stuff that's going on with teams I cheer for. So stuff that goes on with Boston, Vancouver, and Dallas that I never would have missed before this year. Yeah, sometimes I miss it because I'm trying to keep track of absolutely everything at the same time. So, and the one other thing I want to throw in here for you guys is that I don't have, like this morning I noticed on Hockey Central, Doug McLean said something about the Predators and he didn't have the numbers to back it up. So he waits, and about 5 minutes later he's like, my research staff has given me, and he passes along information that backed up what he said, but it was the actual information. I don't have research staff. It's just me. This channel, it's all me. And when you're watching guys on TV, they have a research staff behind them backing them up. And in a lot of cases, these shows aren't necessarily live, so we don't know if they got everything on the first take. We don't know what they might have said that they went, oh, we got to redo that. So that's something that occurs to me sometimes doing this channel. And I understand that there's an expectation that, for instance, if you come in here and you're a fan of the Coyotes, or you're a fan of the Canes, or you're a fan of whatever team that may not get the coverage, that, you know, I should know as much as, you know, the local media does in Arizona. And I do my best to know that stuff. But I have other stuff I try to do during the day that isn't necessarily hockey related, because it's not. And I love doing this. I love having this channel, but man, sometimes it's just, there's so much stuff that goes in here that my brain just shuts off. Because, yeah, you've got all the information you're going to get for today. And especially on a day where there's like 13 games or 11 games, it's like, okay, no. I am excited, though, about the Colorado-Ottawa back-to-backs in Stockholm. That's going to be fun. Those games are in the mornings, and I'm debating about doing a live stream for one or the other. So stay tuned for that. Thank you guys for understanding and for your patience. And I do my best to bring as much information as I can to you guys. And I'll try to remember next time I do this not to have home, home, home. They should all be on the same side. All right. Thank you very much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon. And like and subscribe.